Yes, of course. I mean, I can definitely speak about what I was going to speak anyway. It is just that I'm not going to have any slides on it. I'm really sorry about that.
Yeah, that's totally fine. And you know what we can do also is if you end up having a link to share, we can put that in the channel also that people can look at on their own time.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's perfect. So yeah, I can totally speak about that. And so I will speak about like in general of the topic, and then I will tell a little bit about peacekeepers and how we can help and how it works with blockchain to make it easier with dispute resolution on the workspace and to also implement um, like labor politics into DAOs or even local DAOs. Okay, so I think it is time now, right?
Yeah, I think that's okay if you want to start now. If as people come in, I'll just allow them to join, and hopefully that won't be disruptive.
Okay, okay, perfect. That's amazing then. I will introduce myself for the recording also. I am Maria Castillo, and I am the founder and CEO of Peacekeepers, which is a dispute resolution system for blockchain. And today I am going to talk about dispute resolution in the workspace and labor politics. So I would like to start with maybe a general approach into what disputes usually look like in the workspace, because we have different types. Like for example, let's say that you have a problem with a colleague, or you can also have a problem with another entity, let's say DAO to DAO or DAO to another company. And we need to really dig up a little bit about that, because with each one, you can have different types of ways to resolve these disputes. So let's say that you have a problem with a colleague. Now, if you have a problem with a colleague, then Mm, first, for me, it is dialogue. I truly believe that we should establish that a little bit more, because I think there's a lot of very bad approach into how we can do with dialogue. But once that doesn't really helps, because sometimes people, we are stubborn, and I understand that. We all have our own characters, our own culture, our own anything, right? But in the negotiation with direct discussions, then we can go to mediation. And I know for some people that sounds like a bit scary, like we are starting a conflict. And I understand that, especially because we have a lot of this idea that if you go to a conflict, if you go to a court, for example, that means that your goal is to almost destroy the other party. It is to win, right? You don't go with a mindset of I want to solve this conflict. You go with the mindset of I want to win, and I'm gonna have the best lawyer, and I'm gonna have the best arguments. So everything goes into that. And when people start, even with mediation, they are already starting with that mindset of, you know what, let's destroy each other almost. So I believe that we can definitely do something different than that. And I want to change things a little bit and say a mediation is not about winning, it's about an understanding between two parties. Because the mediator is not going to come and tell you what to do. The the mediator, I'm sorry, is going to be there to help you come to an agreement with that other party. And I believe that's something that is missing a lot, not only in the Web3 space, in every workplace. We don't know how to do that. And this is even more um, tangible in Web3 because usually in Web3 we have a global team. It is very uncommon that all of the people in the team in a DAO are from the same country. Like maybe there are, but it is very, very, very rare. So you have to deal with different cultures, with different languages even. So when you create a mediation, it's about coming to that agreement and to understand the other person point of view and to know that at the end you might need to compromise, right? So many times in the workspace we have this type of conflicts that are just conflicts because people are stubborn into their own ideas and that they want to win no matter what. So the purpose of having a mediation, like right away, not waiting, maybe just have a little dialogue first, of course, always, but then to go to mediation very quickly so you get into that agreement, or if it is a non-agreement, because that can happen too, then know why and see if there's any other ways to solve this conflict besides going to the next steps, which will be arbitration, right? And here is where the labor politics also needs to be implemented. Right from the start, we need clear rules of what is acceptable and what isn't. So if you have a behavior that maybe it is not acceptable, maybe you are putting work into somebody and they are a contributor and you are not paying them, or anything that it is really not acceptable, there needs to be very clear rules from the start to know how people should behave and how they can come to an agreement. So maybe you should pay that person, or maybe this person needs to do a better job. But when when there are not clear rules, it is just up to them and their stubbornness to really decide. And one of the main things that need to happen is that we need those clear rules within the same community, the same DAO, the same company, that very clear rules to know what to do in certain situations. And when do we go to a mediation? When we go to arbitration? And one of the things that I have with peacekeepers and that we really want to change about the blockchain space is that each community are going to have these rules embedded with smart contracts, and also their agreements will be on chain. Well, not completely, just the hashes because of privacy, but to really have these agreements and have enforceability. And we want to create an ecosystem in which, for example, because sometimes you need a very quick resolution, like you can't wait. If it is something about the protocol, let's say that somebody steal from your treasury, or you find out that they're stealing from the treasury, and they are part uh, of your employees or anything like that. So you don't want to go to the whole process and spend months and maybe this person just leaving and going away with the money, right? You need something that it is expedite. So you can have juries for this. You can have juries that are either within your own community or that are part of the whole peacekeepers ecosystem. So you go to and you say, okay, I need arbitration, but I need arbitration through a jury that just says yes or no, and we go with the majority of the vote, or there can be any other rules that you want to apply. Or also, if it is a more complex thing, that let's say that maybe there are other contexts that it is very complex, but maybe you are trying to buy something and the buyer doesn't want to buy anymore. I mean, that there are certain aspects of it that needs more complex ruling. Then what we do is to have arbitration, but with an arbitration panel. And this panel is real experts, like certified experts, and usually they will be lawyers too. And what they were going to do is to give an actual ruling, not just a vote of yes or no, but to actually have a ruling and say why yes or no. And in this way, they will go with the majority of the panel. But if somebody has a different opinion in the panelist, then the losing party can actually appeal with that as um, as a way into saying, okay, but maybe these other arbitrators were wrong, so we go to an appeal to another party, to another panel of arbitration. And also, all of this is done in an anonymous way and is done through sortition. So it is randomized. You don't know which arbitrator or jury or anything you are going to get, also with mediation. So what I'm trying to say here, I mean, besides of how we can do this, is we need clear rules from the start. Because we are human beings. If we don't have any kind of guidelines, we are going to believe that our way is the only way and is the right way. So by having rules, you are not, because a lot of people think that when you create rules, you are like undermining what other people think, right? And I understand that you want to give people freedom to do what they want. And that's also something that in Peacekeepers we think about because we thought about, for example, creating a constitution that is for the whole platform and the whole ecosystem. But then we thought that each community is independent, so they should have their own rules. And maybe in the future, once we create patterns of how things are coming along, we can create some sort of constitution, not really a constitution, but something like on the sorts. Um, but at the same time, if you are going to create just one community, and this is a community that needs to work in harmony, you are gonna need rules. And that's something that a lot of people are not having, especially in Web3. There are not real rules. Even with governance, there are still a lot of disputes. Because even with governance, even when you know that you can vote, that you can take part of something, a lot of people just stop taking part of it. Um, People just vote for whatever, and they're starting to get conflicts. But if you have rules like, hey, you need to be active, you need to vote, or if you do certain type of things, there's going to be consequences. There's more likely that people are going to work better. And I understand that many times in the crypto space, we want to be as disruptive as we can, and that's amazing. But we have seen that without rules, things happen, things like FTX uh, or any other scams out there. So we need that. But at the same time, what we don't need is to just wait passively, like for other people to comfort with those rules, like regulators, the government, because many times they don't understand blockchain. They don't understand how a DAO works. They don't understand how your community is building or how it's working. So it is very difficult for them to just come to um, just a law that it will serve to everybody. That is pretty much impossible, and that's why we need to come with these ideas ourselves, and we need to come with these ideas and implement them ourselves. And I know that that is not something that we do usually. We usually wait for the government to say what we can and we can't do. But right now in Web3, we actually have the best opportunity to do this ourselves and uh, to really reach a point in which you know which rules are going to apply to your community and are going to be good. And there's going to be a lot of errors, and there's going to be disputes, and there's going to be um, like problematics along the road, like with everything else. But I really truly believe that if we start really establishing our own rules and we start creating our agreements and we start creating of patterns of dispute resolution, then the governments and regulators are going to have to listen to us more than just them to impose their own rules, what they think it is correct, which might not be correct. And everything starts in the workplace. Everything starts when you start a community, when you start your DAO. Many people think that these problematics are like these macroeconomic problematics, like very, very, very big scams, right? And it is. But these scams started from somewhere. And because we don't have any type of consideration of what to do when this start to escalating, then they become this macroeconomic problematic. When in reality, we should start from the beginning because Web3 is starting. I know that a lot of people saying like, well, yeah, we have 10 years of blockchain or whatever. Yes, but that is nothing. Like in terms of economic cycles and economy in itself, it is absolutely nothing. We are in the early steps. And so we have the amazing opportunity. I said it again, to really find out what is going to work. So we need to start by creating a good ecosystem within our community, either if it is local, if it is global, whatever it is. If you are starting a community, a DAO, a company, a club, wherever it is, you need to have in your mind how it is going to work and how people are going to contribute and how rules are going to be implied. Because how many contributors out there that are contributing to so many DAOs and they don't receive anything in return? We see that in Web3 a lot. A lot of people are just working for free, and these DAOs are just, well, very happy, right? You have free labor. So if you know, for example, if I want to work and I want to contribute to a DAO, and it doesn't even have to be a monetary contribution, a monetary expectation, but you know something, uh, if I go to a DAO and I see that they don't have any rules, that if I contribute to them, there is nothing in return, Nothing, like not even money, because maybe it is not about money, but it is about maybe getting more involved. Maybe if you have a token, maybe have a token, maybe have a voting right, anything, right? But if you know that there's nothing, I'm not gonna contribute to that DAO. And for peacekeepers, what we want is for you, for everybody to be able to come and see, like, okay, this is the dashboard for the DAO. And then we can see that this DAO has already like rules in place that if you contribute, you are going to get this or that. Or if you are part of the DAO, you are going to get this or that. And that these are also your obligations and these are your rights, and everything is on a smart contract and everything is enforceable, and if there is dispute resolution, you are going to have it. So that is what we are trying to make, to create trust in the Web3 space through dispute resolution and through rules, but rules that we as peacekeepers we are not going to impose, but you as a community, you are gonna make your own rules. And I think that is really, really, really beautiful. I see a question here. Please, education DAO.
Hi, Maria. I have a question. How do you select who your mediators are and what kind of training do they go through? My mother ran a mediation center for 20 years and continues to train individuals. So I have a very deep knowledge of conflict resolution as opposed to arbitration, and curious to know what sort of standards you use and what methodologies you use to train your mediators.
Oh, yes, of course. Right now, what we are doing is to have partnerships with institutions that already have mediators. So if you have already a certification with them, you can come with us and be certified. Also, if you prove, we can conduct interviews. And if you prove that you are a certified mediator and that you have the right experience, you can come. Now, I know that sounds like a very manual process and not very technological or blockchain. We are trying to make that leap into having like certifications that are on blockchain through zero knowledge, etc. But in the meantime, we are doing it more into a manual way. So, for example, if your mom is part of this organization, we can make a deal and we can onboard their mediators and having their certification to also be valid as a certification at Peacekeepers.
Okay, I would love to learn more about the companies that you contract with for mediators. Um, Maybe offline, that would be a good conversation to have.
Yes, yes, of course. If you can reach out to me, that would be amazing. I am Maria Cyber Law in every one of my socials. So yes, of course, please. If you want to reach out to me, I would love to discuss this further.
Thank you so much.
Yes, definitely. So I don't know if you have any other questions. Okay.
Yeah, I don't have any. I don't know if Alex does or if Christina does.
Okay, it seems like that's a no. So no questions here. Okay, I mean that's great. Um, I really like this opportunity to express how important this is for for the Web3 space. Because if we don't start to do this, if we don't start to really get into dispute resolution right now, and to know how we can do that without like waiting for any jurisdiction to tell us what to do, I don't think Web3 is gonna move forward as fast as they need to. We need to build this. And I know I'm super biased. Obviously, I love peacekeepers and I love the solution that we are creating. But if you see any other solution out there that you like, then go for it too. It's okay. That's also the good thing about Web3, that we are collaborating and that we don't have to be in this conflict. uh, there is room for everybody. So if you go and you see any other project that you like and they are doing conflict resolution too, and you like them more, go ahead. As long as you have it, as long as we start building this, is perfect, really. I mean, I would love for you to come to Peacekeepers and to onboard you and to teach you like what we are building, because it is truly amazing everything that we have, not even right now, but for the future. I really have in my mind like a full plan for even like 20 years from now of what Peacekeepers is going to be. So I would love for you to be part of this, and so we can build this together, because that's it. We are building together. It is not just me building something. We are building this with everybody, because we need you, and we need you to be on board of wanting to have a good dispute resolution, a good workspace, a good labor. Even if you are just in a local DAO, in a local community, you need it too. Because even if you go in person, because I know there's a lot of local communities out there that are using blockchain, but they are actually like uh, meeting in person, and they are very small communities. You mm, you need a way that people know that they can solve conflicts. So it is yes, I mean, so this works even if you are like that. Even if you meet in person, you can get advantage of blockchain, of technology. And it doesn't have to be like these archaic things anymore. Let's leverage our the technologies that we have right now, because they have to be a tool to become better. And if you really, really want to come with us, please reach out to me. I am totally on board uh, to give you a tour of Peacekeepers. Right now, we are in a private beta. So if you want to test it and see what we can do and build with us, please reach out. Now I'm seeing some chats here. Mostly important to build conflict resolution into the culture instead of law-based imposed choices. Exactly. That is exactly the point. You are totally right. And I know that I am a lawyer, but I don't know if you go and see my LinkedIn, and I believe I have it also in my Twitter, well, X now. I put like a slogan or uh, lawyer less, govern less, and thou more, because I believe, like, yes, lawyers have a space in Web3, like for sure. We need lawyers, but we also need to create our own laws, because laws should come from the people. Government come from the people. So we need to get back to that. So yes, I mean, I totally understand. As a lawyer myself, I know that we have this monopoly of information. of the law and of many things that we should share with everybody, that everybody should know how things work. And you shouldn't be going to a lawyer just to know like basic stuff, like your basic rights. Why having that? So I really want to stop that monopoly and to also stop this way of thinking that only rich people can access justice. So that's also why at Peacekeepers, right now we don't have a token. We are going to have one in the future, but it is not going to be like, hey, you want to be a jury, you need to have a lot of tokens from us if you want to be a jury. Or you want to open an arbitration, you have to have a massive amount of tokens to do so. I don't believe that. I believe justice should be for everyone, not just for somebody that pays for a token.
Well, and
Uh,
also
yeah.
the
Oh, sorry.
justice, the system is set up to, the revenue functions of the legal system are not set up for conflict resolution, because conflict resolution does not bring any sort of money into the justice system. So there has to be a way that, I mean, we know that companies with less conflict are more profitable. So the economics are there, but um, it is so profitable to be in conflict that it is difficult to incentivize mediation at large, because so many things are fee funded. And so, a lot of the court systems are run based on what they collect from people being moved through the system. So this is one of those opportunities to redesign for the Web3 space, to show the non-Web3 space a different model that can be just as profitable or just as lucrative in a variety of ways, that uses different mechanisms that are actually pro-peace. So that's my viewpoint around mediation at large, and why we have a very hard time with large scale adoption, at least in the US and in most countries.
Yes, no, definitely. I mean, there's really not a culture for that. Um, like here in Mexico, people don't even know that they can mediate.
Right.
And there is a way to. And even now, there's a new law that happened here in Mexico, which I'm really, really happy about, that recognizes other type of dispute resolution that comes from blockchain, like peacekeepers or any other solution out there. And they get recognized by the law here now. So that's amazing. I mean, we are going forward, but at the same time, nobody knows about it. Right? Uh, because again, they don't know their rights. They don't know what they can do. They don't know what they should do. And many times they think, okay, I need to hire a lawyer and that's gonna cost me so much money. I think I better leave it. So they don't do anything. Or if it is like a very large amount of money, then it is, like you say, it is very lucrative for everybody. And it is best to keep having these conflicts. And I don't believe in that. I believe if we start from the beginning of these conflicts, we we really can diminish the conflict that we have.
Mhm.
And also to have enforceability, right? Because bad actors are bad actors. There's, I mean, if somebody is going to try to hack your wallet, they are going to do it. I mean, it is unfortunate, but it is what it is. Or if somebody wants to commit fraud, they are going to commit it. It is what it is. It happens. And it is always going to happen, no matter how many things we put. but at least that they know that they are going to have a consequence, and that is already embedded and already put in place, and it's just a matter of a trigger in a smart contract. At least I want that they think twice before they do it, and to make people to have more security and more trust that they can put their money into something knowing that maybe they won't lose it if somebody rocks them. So I mean, I know I could speak about this and about what we are going to do with peacekeepers like for hours, but it is very important. This is, I think, one of the most important things that we need in Web3. Oh, I was a jury here reading the chat. I was a jury duty on Monday and was sad how much the court system encouraged us versus them. Not we can figure this out together. Yes, definitely. I was saying at the beginning, we have this culture of if you are if you go to court, is to win and to destroy uh, somebody. Uh, like that is your goal. Like I'm gonna destroy the other party. I'm gonna go with my I'm gonna hire the best lawyer, and that is what is my mindset. So you are already in a mindset of destruction instead of a mindset of let's solve this. Let's solve this problem. And yes, I hate that about the court system, about everything that is about the judicial system. Mm, I don't think it is a good thing, and we encourage it. We actually celebrate it. Like you can see every single like series on TV that it is about lawyers, and it is always about that. So yes, I mean I see that many people need to hop out of uh, the call, but yes, I mean that is my opinion. Maybe I am biased. Maybe my opinion is not even a good opinion. I don't know, but I want to try this. I want to build this, and I hope that you can come with me and try to make Web3 better. So I think maybe that's the end of the discussion. I believe it was 45 minutes for me.
Yeah, we can stay till the end of the hour if you want, unless someone needs to go early. But this is super relatable. I've been in many DAOs and have never even considered about deciding upfront what we agree on.
Yes, I know, and it is totally okay. It is very normal that I mean, because we are excited, right? We just want to build, and we go out there and we start building and we start doing things, and we don't think about that because we don't go to the mindset of we are going to have problems along the line, right? But unfortunately, that there are going to be. Uh, I mean, where there is humans, there are going to be discussions and there is going to be problems. Uh, I mean, we as lawyers, we wouldn't have a job if that was not the case. So it is very normal. And I mean, yes, we're peacekeepers. What we want is to help you with that. To say, hey, you can do these roles like in a very easy way, and not having like these terms and conditions of some websites that nobody reads and nobody cares, and you just accept them. And you accept so many weird things, like with Facebook, with Instagram, with Google, with everything that you say yes. And just for us not to be able to just do some rules and be agree with it when you just accept whatever when you accept those terms and conditions. We just need to change a little bit of this mindset. Now I see Elizabeth. Hello. Nice to see you again, by the way, that you raised your hand.
Yeah. Um, I put in the link a dispute resolution program that I went through called
Oh,
Dialogue
nice.
Roadmap. And it really, to me, is the one of the best programs I found. And one of the things that she really pointed out is that as humans, we will have conflict. But whether that conflict turns into dispute, right? That we naturally see things from different sides. So conflict is natural. We just, it's part of being human, is that we see things from different perspectives. And the challenge is we don't know how to talk about it. We don't know how uh, to communicate with each other in a way that manages those conflicts before they become disputes. Like we always suddenly are now in a dispute and we don't know how we got there. And it's
Yes.
and most of it is our language. And so really what she teaches is how do we dialogue in a way that allows us to be heard and be able to speak. And so this is a really I would encourage you to look at it. I did take the training. It was a 9-month training, and really benefited from it.
Oh my God, yes.
And so
Yeah,
I
I
think
would.
um, the creator of it, Maria, is would be very open to creating a specific program, I think, for this group. If we could get a group of people together and possibly even get a grant, try to get a grant. The group that I was in was a grant, and I was invited, but the grant was written specifically for women of color to get this training. And so, it's something that I know she's receptive to, but I think it would be like maybe Maria, you and I could talk about it and see if there's an interest.
Oh yes. I mean that's definitely something very beautiful. Because it is very important to not go to a dispute and to not be afraid of dialogue, you know? And I understand that it is very difficult in the Web3 space because we are global. So we are dealing with a lot of languages, a lot of cultures, and you don't know what something might be triggered to somebody just because of their culture. Like, for example, very quickly here in Mexico, we tend to not say no. Like, you are never gonna say, here's somebody in Mexico just to say no to you. We are not direct with our language. We are very indirect, and we try to say no in the most kind and nice way possible ever. And so when people just come and say no to us, like just like that, like very direct, or when people are very direct in their things or their commands, uh, we tend to see that as very aggressive. And like, for example, I have a friend and she's married with a German guy. And he goes, I don't know, he asks for a coffee and he says, like, uh, can I have a coffee or something like very, very straightforward. And for her, it is like, but why are you telling me like that? Like, say it to me nicely so I can bring it to you if you want, but you need to tell me in a good way. And he was so confused. Like, what are you talking about? I'm just asking for a coffee. I mean, I didn't say it in a bad way or anything. And things like that happens with everything,
That's
with
right.
everything.
Yeah.
So it is very difficult, but we need to have some patience and to also understand where the other person is coming from. Like, okay, maybe this is not about me. I need to understand that this dialogue could be different from what I'm expecting it to be. And I think it would be amazing to, for example, give maybe some sort of training to people that come to peacekeepers, that they can have this training too, to avoid dispute resolution, to not go to, arbitration and mediation and everything that we have, that it is going to help, but to also help you to do the rules for your community and to do this dialogue,
Yeah.
and to move forward. I think that could be beautiful too. So let's talk about it.
And one of the most important things within any exchange is that you set the agreements before the dialogue so that
Yes.
you have agreed to things, and then, okay, we're moving out of our agreement. Can we come back to the agreement and see if we may need to change it? Right. So the whole way, you're even as simple as, when are we meeting? Right.
Yes.
Right. And what
I
happens
know. I
if,
know.
right? What happens if somebody misses a meeting? Right. If you have prior agreements to say, okay, it's up to you to now catch up. It's not my job, right? If that agreement is made before you get into that, then the expectations are clear.
Yes, exactly. And if all of this is on chain, you have a record that is not going anywhere.
Right.
So we need to get advantage of the tools that it is blockchain, that it is technology. We don't need to be afraid, because I have seen some communities that they don't want to adopt like blockchain because, well, first of all, it has a bad reputation now, like, oh, it is a scam or whatever. But even like that, they are like, why having that? They don't understand that it could be an amazing tool, and that it could bring more trust to our own transactions. Like any transaction now can be like a dialogue, and that has a record, and that even if something goes to a dispute, because maybe it will, I mean, that can happen always. At least you know that you have all of this evidence, that now the people that are going to rule, like a jury or an arbitrator panel, they are going to look into all of this, not just what you want, but everything.
Right.
Because many times it's like you want people to see only your side and only your things. But with blockchain, it is not about you, it's about us.
Right. Right. And Eleanor Ostrom says that one of the key tools or guidelines for managing a commons is to have a well-established dispute resolution method in place, so people know coming into it that if there's a process. It's not just left to how who has the loudest voice, or right, that it really is, okay, you've agreed to this dispute resolution process in coming into this group. Here it is. Do you want to make changes? Do you see something that doesn't work for you? Let's discuss it, right? So they come to agreement before they even join whatever group you're forming, so that they've already agreed coming in that they'll be a participant in that dispute resolution.
Yes, I totally agree with that. And now that you are saying it, I mean, I'm thinking like right now, even in Web3 and DAOs, the people that are actually getting that last word are usually the people that have the most tokens. And it is something that happens in almost every DAO, unfortunately.
Mhm.
And if we are just going to mimic what happens outside. I mean, why having a DAO if that is going to happen? If the major shareholder is going to be the one that decides, then why having a DAO? Go and do an entity in any jurisdiction, you know? So we really need to change the mindset, and we need to change how we build things, because we are just mimicking the same mistakes that we have been building forever, when we have the amazing opportunity to actually change that.
That's right. And change it in a way that works for the most people.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Not just for a few people that have the ability to buy more, right?
Right.
And this is not like in the point of view of, oh my God, if you have money, you are bad or whatever. That is not the point. This is about everyone being in the same situation. Like
Right.
if you go to a dispute, you are the same. Like not because you have more tokens, then you are in a better position. Not because you may have a lot of money, then you can uh, ask people to be a jury and to pay them, because that happens also in other solutions. Unfortunately, that can happen. So it is more about having an equal ground. Like, okay, if you go to a dispute, good. It doesn't matter who you are. This is about evidence. This is about what has been done. And this is not about it, your truth or your truth, is about what actually happened.
Right.
So I think that is beautiful, and that's why blockchain is beautiful, and that's how blockchain is going to really change a lot of legal aspects in the world. And I want to build that. I really I am super excited to build this and to change things around, like to show people that we can actually have a nice way to resolve conflicts, and that it can be equal, and that it can be uh, just for everybody, not just for whomever has the more money.
Yeah.
So yes.
So we understand, I think most of us probably here understand that money is only a symbol for a relationship and for an exchange, right? But it has become the hammer, right? It's like whoever has it's the hammer that enforces, like, to acquire more means that you can do whatever you want, right? You can dominate the situation because you have the money. And that is really what I see it as our primary dysfunction.
Yes, yeah, definitely. So I think technology can be an amazing equalizer.
I
I I really believe so.
Beautiful. Thank you. I'm sorry I came late, but I
Oh,
had a
don't worry. Don't worry, Elizabeth. I actually think I only attended like one of your talks or something. I've been super busy. I'm really sorry about that.
it's our yeah, it's understandable. But I love the fact that all of these are being recorded and being listed, because I've been sharing that list with many people, specifically in Africa that doesn't have good internet connectivity, so they're able to get the knowledge without having to necessarily attend the call. So it's getting out there. People are appreciating what you're doing here.
Yes, yeah, definitely. I mean, we are really trying to go global. I mean, one of my co-founders, he is from Cameroon, and we really want to bring this also to these places that nobody thinks about, and like Africa, Latin America, any other place that really needs a better justice system, for sure.
Yeah. Have you guys heard of the love pods? It's an interesting thing that I just found out about. That is a mobile internet connectivity tool developed by the Okanagan peoples of Canada, the indigenous tribe in the Okanagan Valley in Canada. And it seems like it might be an interesting solution. I just found out about it. I'll put a link here in the chat, and I would
Yes,
love to
please.
think what other people think of it.
Yeah, because I don't think I have seen it. I mean, maybe, I don't know. I don't recall. So please, yes, share it with us so we can see it. Okay. Good. Yes, I will get into this and let you know my opinion on it.
Thank you.
Yes, of course. No, thanks to you. You are always so resourceful. It's amazing.
I seem to, my superpower seems to be connecting the dots.
Yes, yeah, definitely. It is. It is a true superpower for sure. So I really like it.
Well, I have to
Okay, it is
jump now. I have another call, so I
yes.
appreciate you.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you too.
All right.
All
And
right.
thank you, PDX Dow and Nathan Suits as well. Look forward to the next call I can get on.
Yes, of course. I mean, me too. This is an amazing initiative. So I am really, really happy and honored to have spoken here. And thank you so much. This is amazing. And again, if you want to reach out and to build peacekeepers alongside with me, please reach out. I am Maria Cyberlaw in all of my socials and on Twitter, on LinkedIn, and also on Telegram. So you can just chat with me. Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. This was amazing.
Thank you. I'm going to stop the recording here. But